You ever have one of those days? The kind where you feel less like a parent and more like a referee in a tiny, chaotic WWE match? You're yelling about shoes, you're negotiating over broccoli, and by 8 a.m., you're already exhausted. You find yourself saying things like, "Because I said so," and wonder, is this really working? Am I just trying to win today's battle, even if it feels like I'm losing the war for the kind of relationship I actually want with my kids? If that sounds familiar, I want you to take a breath, because today, we're talking about a shift. A simple but profound idea that moves us away from controlling our kids' behavior and toward building a relationship so strong they want to cooperate. It's called unconditional parenting. And before you say, "I don't have time for that," stick with me. This is the real-world, parent-tested guide. So, what's the big idea here? It's this. Stop focusing on techniques like punishments and rewards to get good behavior. Instead, focus on building a relationship where your child feels loved and accepted for who they are, not just for what they do. That feeling of safety and love, that's what grows happy, responsible kids. But I know what you're thinking. I can hear it now. That sounds lovely, but my kid just threw his food across the kitchen. How do I focus on the relationship without letting him think that's okay? Great question. This is where most of us get stuck. The answer is a two-step sequence: correct, then connect. Your first job is safety. You are the firm, loving leader, so you immediately and calmly stop the behavior. You gently but firmly hold the hitting hand. You take the plate of food away, and you say in a totally neutral voice, "I won't let you hit," or "Food is not for throwing." That's the correct. No anger, just a clear boundary. The unconditional part, the connects, comes next, after the storm. Instead of "go to your room," you get down on their level and say something like, "Wow, you were so angry right there. It's okay to feel that way, but it's not okay to hit. Let's talk about what was making you so upset." See the difference? You separate the action, which is unacceptable, from the child, who is always loved and always worthy of your help. Okay, but then the next question comes up. If my child feels totally accepted, where's their motivation to stop being defiant? The motivation actually shifts from something external, like fear of punishment, to something internal, like their relationship with you. Kids are wired for connection. When they feel unconditionally loved, they don't want to disappoint you or disrupt the peace of the family. They're motivated to solve problems with you as part of the team, not because they're afraid of you. You're trading fear-based compliance for trust-based cooperation. And let's be honest, in the chaos of daily life, it's so easy to just default to whatever gets us short-term quiet. We demand compliance for safety, like in a parking lot, but we also demand it for our own convenience, like wanting quiet in the house. Here's how to tell the difference. For safety, you activate what I call parental leadership mode. This is non-negotiable. The tone is firm, clear, and unyielding, but not angry. We hold hands in the parking lot. This is a rule that keeps you safe, and it does not change. Give me your hand. But for convenience, that's where you problem solve together. It's important we use quiet voices in the library. I see you have a ton of energy right now. How can we get this out? Should we do 10 quiet star jumps before we go in? You're respecting their need for wiggles while still meeting the demand of the situation. Now, what about the guilt? The feeling that you're sabotaging your child's future every time you mess up and yell? Please hear this. Embrace the idea of rupture and repair. You will mess up. You will yell. The goal is not perfection, it's repair. One of the most powerful things you can do is go to your child later and say, "Hey, I'm sorry I yelled earlier. I was feeling really stressed and I didn't handle it well. Can we have a do-over?" This teaches them that relationships can handle mistakes. It's one of the most valuable lessons you can ever give them. Let's get even more specific. What about the really tough moments? Let's say a timeout just isn't working and you're in the middle of a full-blown, on-the-floor tantrum. The alternative is something called a time-in or a calm-down corner. Your goal shifts from isolation to co-regulation. Here's what that looks like. First, speak less. Be present more. Just say, "This is a big feeling. I'm right here to keep you safe." And then you just sit quietly nearby. Your calm is their anchor. Your calm is their anchor. Second, validate the feeling, not the behavior. You are so angry that we have to leave the park. I get it. It's hard to stop playing. Third, offer a physical outlet if they need one. It's not okay to hit me, but you can hit this pillow if you need to get the mat out. And finally, you problem solve later. The teaching part can only happen once their brain is calm again. Okay, let's rapid fire a few more common battles. What about the toddler who just says, "I'm not wearing a coat"? You use the freedom within fence's framework. The fence is the non-negotiable. The freedom is where they get to have a choice. It sounds like this. First, you acknowledge the feeling. "I hear you. You really hate wearing a coat." Then, you state the reality, the fence, And the rule is, we don't go outside in the freezing cold without one. My job is to keep you safe. Then, you offer limited, acceptable choices. So, the problem isn't casual wear coat. But how? Do you want the blue one or the puffy one? Or do you want to carry it to the car and put it on right before we get out? You hold the boundary but give them a piece of control to hold on to. What about preparing them for school or a job where obedience is expected? You're not raising a rebel, you're raising a child who understands context. You explain the why behind the rules. At school, the rule is to raise your hand so everyone gets a chance to talk. You're teaching them to respect reasonable systems, not to shut off their brain for anyone in charge. And what about the teenager who just grunts, "Leave me alone"? Connection with a teen looks different. It's not a big heart-to-heart, it's a series of small, low-pressure bits. It's sitting on the edge of their bed for a minute and saying nothing. It's bringing them a snack without demanding conversation. It's texting them a stupid meme. You're sending a signal, "I am here. I love you. The door is open when you're ready." Now for the most important question of all, how in the world do you do any of this when you are overstimulated, frustrated, and have a meeting in 10 minutes? You probably can't. And that's okay. In that moment of chaos, your only job is damage control. Don't make it worse. On a Tuesday morning when you're late, you use the get it done and repair tactic. You narrate the reality. We are in a major rush right now. I am putting you shoes on your feet. I know you don't like it. And then you promise a repair. In the car, let's make a plan so this doesn't happen tomorrow. You're showing them that sometimes life is messy, but the goal is always to get back to working together. And please know this, when you first make this shift, it might get worse before it gets better. Your kids will test the new system. They'll push every new limit to see if you're for real. Expect a storm and be the lighthouse. Your job is to be incredibly consistent, calm, and predictable. Every time you hold a boundary with love, you are laying one more brick in a foundation of trust. You are not failing, you are weathering the necessary storm. So how do you make this all feel authentic? How do you have those love without strings moments? Don't try to script it. Anchor it to a physical, quiet moment when you're tucking them in. Snuggled on the couch, when you just catch their eye and smile. And you whisper, "You know what? I was just thinking how much I love being your mom." Or your dad. Because at the end of the day, that's what this is all about. It's a long-term investment in the person you're raising and in the relationship you'll have with them for the rest of your life. It's not easy, but it's worth it. You've got this.